So how long have you had Ripley for?
Ripley has been here for 2 years now. He's been different for 2 years, the whole time. His behavior is more aggressive than a normal horse. For instance, if we discipline him or correct him in any way, he will become violent, as if like we give him a little tap on the nose to tell him that he can't bite us. He'll come at us stronger and try to jump on top of us.
So I've been riding for 14 years, and I've been riding with Melissa at Valkyr since Canada Day last year, but I've only been riding Ripley since January. And I started riding him because his owner, well his co-owner, was too scared of him and had had too many accidents, and no other lesson kids would get on him, so Melissa threw me on and asked me to fix him. Well, Ripley had a reputation at the barn. Everyone was scared of him, or thought he was just an asshole, and thought he was just bad and mean, and everyone was scared, and no one wanted to go near him, and everyone was like, oh, you're riding Ripley, nah. So I kind of knew he was different before I even experienced it, and he was just crazy. Like the first day I went to get him, he attacked me in the stall, and I couldn't get him, and then he started to shake when I smacked him because it was out of his routine, and he was scared. And then I felt bad. So then Melissa got him, but you noticed it instantly. Like if you walk up to a stall, even someone who doesn't know horses, when you walk up to a stall, he pins his ears and tries to attack. That's not normal. What's the boy with the bit in? Stop it.
I'll close the door as soon as she's on. Alright, so you can go in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. If you stick by Sophie, you're good.
Okay.
T'es pas vraiment assis 4 coups, là. T'as même pas. Faut changer la diagonale. C'est 2 ou 4. Non. 1, 2. Hop. Non. Encore 2 coups. Avec toi, hop. Dans là. Oui. Non. Encore 2 coups.
So also he wouldn't go through the door with me, and then he ran me through it, but he wouldn't go through it. It took me like, every time I rode him I didn't want to get off because he couldn't get him through that door, and there was no real reason. Nothing had ever happened. He'd been at Melissa's for a long time and she'd never had an accident with him. He just wouldn't go through the door. You're not at the stall, Sam. Get over there. He was also really scared of weird things, and there was one time I tried to pull his mane to thin it, and he started shaking because he'd never had that happen. Or if you brush him from starting on the left side instead of the right, it's out of his routine, he started shaking. It's really similar to an autistic child. Let's go. Forward.
Shoulders more behind. Stop straight and come back.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, horse is nice. Is he?
What are you doing? Are you filming what Ripley did to me for the dog?
His class is gonna be like this. This is what it is.
I love them. This is a nice food for Christmas. This is my favorite.
Don't forget to put it back in the freezer.
I went to take him out, and Sam opened the door, and I went to walk through, and he decided he was going through without me, and he squished my arm in the door and ran by it with his whole body, and I think it's broken somewhere in it. Can you come closer and you could see? And look at the swelling.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty lump.
That's really sad because I have a horse show with my horse on Wednesday. Life's hard with an autistic horse.
Yeah, so the owner, he was not my horse, and the owner was tired of dealing with his special needs. So she thought she was going to give him a better life where he can be in the field and be with other horses and not have too much contact with other people.
So after he dragged me through the door, I went and got x-rays done, and luckily nothing was broken. It was just severe tissue damage. But I went to the barn on, 2 days after, and Melissa was like, "Kelsey, I have something to tell you, you're not gonna like it." And I thought she was gonna tell me something stupid, and then she was like, "Ripley's gone." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I didn't believe her because I thought she just knew I loved him and knew I had a soft spot for him even though I shouldn't. And she was like, "Well, he left today." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean he left?" And she was like, "Well, he's gone to a farm." And I felt like a little kid again when they like tell you they sent your pet to the farm because you're not keeping it. And I was like, "What do you mean you sent him to a farm? A legit farm?" And she was like, "Yeah, legit farm, big acres, like a big barn, I guess, a lot of acres. He's gonna be super happy. He's gonna just be a horse." And I was like, "Where is this farm?" And she was like, "Oh, I can't tell you." And I was like, "Okay, well, did you actually send him to a farm, or did you put him down?" She was like, "No, we put him." They put him down because he was a danger. He wasn't safe anymore, and there had been other incidents with him before, but it could never be confirmed that it was completely his fault, because it happened with lesson kids or kids who didn't have a lot of experience. And then when it happened with me, it was obvious that he was being a problem and he was dangerous. He really ran me through a door on purpose. I wasn't in the wrong spot at the wrong time. I didn't do anything. He didn't get scared. He was just being a problem. And then so she put him down partly because of that, and the other reason was normally you'd sell a horse that was a problem, but she didn't feel like it was ethically right to sell this horse to someone knowing how much danger he could be to someone. If you sold him to a kid, he could really hurt the kid. If you sold him to an adult, he could hurt the adult. And also you didn't want him to fall into the wrong hands where they didn't understand that he was special needs and they just beat him or something because they couldn't do it. So Melissa put him down just because she felt like it was the best thing to do for him.
Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say